ولكن في السنوات الأخيرة انتشرت مقاطع للمحاكمات التي صورت. من يشاهدها يبتسم، يتأثر، وقد تدمع عيناه أحيانا. أتحدث هنا عن قوة التأثير. كيف تفسر التفاعل مع محاكماتك؟ وهل كنت تتوقع أن تكون بهذا التأثير على مستوى العالم؟
I treat people as I was brought up by my parents. I was taught from a very early age. I lived in a home of great love and compassion. And I was taught by example to treat people with respect, with dignity, and with integrity. And I don't think that that's just in special circumstances. I think we should treat everyone because everyone is entitled to that. Unfortunately, many of the people I met came before me in a courtroom. A courtroom is a very intimidating experience for many people. And how they are treated in that courtroom during that short period of time, if they are not treated properly, could affect the rest of their lives, particularly if they are there with small children. So when I see children in the courtroom, can you imagine a situation where a judge is yelling at a parent, berating a parent, being mean to a parent? The effect that it would have on that child maybe for the rest of his or her life would be anti-establishment, would not abide by the rules of the institutions of government, and you never know how it would affect them. I think we owe it to each other as human beings to treat each other kindly.
أريد أن أركز على الجانب الإنساني والتعاطف في محاكماتك. بكل بساطة، لماذا تهتم وتستمع للقصص والمبررات، خصوصا تلك التي تتعلق بالعائلة؟
Because I view that as my job. I think it's incumbent upon me to treat people not only according to the law, but also according to their circumstances. It would not be fair to me to impose a penalty that would be impossible for someone because of their circumstances, whether it be poverty or sickness. So let me give you a perfect example. If someone comes before the courtroom and they have a terminal disease, or if they're elderly, or if they have children and they don't have any money, don't you think as a human being from your heart that you should take those factors into consideration? Well, I do. I do.
بالتأكيد حكمت في آلاف القضايا، التقيت بشخصيات من خلفيات مختلفة واستمعت إلى العديد من القصص. ما القصة التي أثرت بك أو الشخصية التي أثرت بك وعلقت بذاكرتك وقد تكون غيرت فيك شيئا؟
Sticks out. It was a 96-year-old gentleman that came before my court. And he was charged with speeding. And he answered me, he said, I don't speed. He says, I drive carefully, but I was taking my son to a doctor. He said, my son is suffering from cancer, and I was taking him for treatment. I asked him how old his son was. He told me his son was 63 years old. His name was Victor Coella. So I told Victor we would pray for his son, and I dismissed the ticket. But Victor touched my heart. So I stayed in touch with Victor after his court appearance. Actually helped him celebrate his 100th birthday because Victor was 90, and I've invited him to my home for dinner as well. And that was just a very emotional story for me. You know, such a wonderful gentleman at that age.
You are a good man. I wish you all the best. I wish the best for your son, and I wish you good health. And your case is dismissed. Good luck to you and God bless you.
Thank you.
ضروري أتطرق لوجود الأطفال المصاحبين لوالديهم داخل قاعة المحكمة في المحاكمات. الطريف في الأمر أنك تطلب منهم أن يساعدوك في إطلاق الأحكام على والديهم. هل أنت متقصد ذلك؟ وكأن هناك رسالة تريد إيصالها.
Intimidating experience. And kids are there and they're scared to death. You know, don't forget, they see a judge in a robe, they see an oak-paneled courtroom, there's a cop in front of the bench with a gun, there's a high-level desk where the judge sits. You know, he wears a robe, and it's very formal. You know, in court, there's certain dignity and decorum that has to be adhered to in the court. And these poor kids come in, you know, and they're up, they don't know what to expect. They're hugging their parent. And so when it's time for them to appear before me, you know, usually the kids are very nervous. So I will ask if they will come up and help me make a decision.
Of course.
And I get some of the most interesting answers, you know. Thing is that all children, when they come up, are very, very honest. And they will never make excuses for their parents.
I'm going to ask you two questions, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to say one or the other. Now, we're talking about your father, right? Now, you're going to say guilty or not guilty. What do you say?
Guilty.
Guilty.
أيضا لاحظت وجود ابنك ديفيد المرافق لك سواء داخل المحكمة.
Part of the court, you know, he's there many times because we're in the same office and he's waiting for me to give him a ride back, you know, so, but he doesn't have a formal title.
حضرة القاضي فرانك كابريو، تشرفت بإجراء هذا الحوار معك، شكرا لك.
Thank you so much. I am very appreciative of how I've been treated here.